The sound of coffee brewing in the background. It must be morning. And it is. It's Saturday morning. Saturday morning. It's early Saturday morning. It's 6:57 a.m. here in Crowley. It's cloudy. Supposedly there's a cold front moving in that was going to drop our temperatures a little bit. So instead of hitting 105, we'll only get to about 98 today. Yay! That's a good thing. But anyhow, just want to say good morning, folks. Today's report is I woke up. I'm here. I'm making coffee. I'm going to get on the radio in about an hour with the 3840 gang, and we're going to listen probably more than anything else. I do a lot of listening. I don't do a lot of talking. Um, but the conversations on 3840 are usually political to one extent or another. Discussions about alternative medications. Uh, these guys tend to be big believers in ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and I'm not saying those things don't work, um, but they're heavily into that and no vaccines. Now, there's where I really do agree a lot with this vaccine stuff. I remember getting a flu vaccine back in the late 60s, I guess it was. And immediately after getting the flu vaccine, I got the flu. So, what good is a vaccine? My doctor talked me into getting it maybe 5 years ago, and I finally said, "All right, fine, I'll get the flu vaccine." And he may have given me one other at the same time. But in general, I don't vaccinate. I just don't see any benefit to it, um, especially when there's a question mark about long-term effects of this stuff. And the COVID shot was something entirely different because it's not a vaccine. Um, why is it that after I had that one, and I did that because I got talked into it, but I otherwise would not have taken the COVID vaccine or whatever the Pfizer shot was. But I did, and after the booster, I did get COVID. Now, granted, it was mild, and at that point, what is it, remdesivir? I think was the medication they used, and it lasted maybe 4 days, and it was over. But there's enough mounting evidence, and not just anecdotal, that that the Pfizer shot, probably Moderna also, has caused a lot of secondary effects that since it was rushed, um, there's no time to really investigate thoroughly what it was going to do. And there's really nothing that's convinced me yet that the death statistics from COVID were any better or any worse due to these Pfizer shots. However, I do know that an awful lot of money changed hands to the pharmaceutical companies to do that, and that's taxpayer dollars that went to them. There's also taxpayer dollars that were set fire to with the medical establishment. What was it? $30,000 per patient uh, admitted to a hospital for COVID. So this was a moneymaker for the medical industry. And as always, you got to follow the money. I I, uh, uh, I don't think their intentions were honorable at all levels in this stuff. So anyhow, that's my little bit of a rant this morning. Until I have my coffee, I'm still not fully awake. But later on today, candlelight in Arlington for lunch with the Armadillo Intertie folks. This is a group of radio operators I've been around really since literally my first couple of days in Texas back in 1986. They had a very primitive radio system set up where they had a repeater station in Austin, actually Oak Hill, and that went by radio link through a relay point in Moody, Texas, which is kind of southwest of Waco a little bit, and then from there up to Cedar Hill in Texas, where they had their main repeater system. And I was able to talk to a friend of mine in Dallas from my hotel room in Austin. And I really mean this is literally the first couple of days I was in Texas because I stayed in that hotel. I think I was there 3 weeks um, before I moved into my house. Yeah, I got there like September 5th, I think. And I moved into the house September 25th, I think it was, or 24th, over there in Cedar Park. So anyhow, uh, that was my first exposure to the Armadillo guys. They didn't call themselves that then. Um, and this system has built out and built out and built out and built out to now there are roughly 45 UHF repeater systems around the state. And they're primarily all linked by radio links between each site. Some are linked over the internet. But I can be sitting here and with a portable talking to a guy in Midland, like he's next door. They kept the quality very good in the system. Also, the audio tailoring is such that it's pretty much transparent. The system is transparent audio wise. The way it sounds here is the way it sounds there. It's a very well designed system, and it's sort of patterned after the Cactus intertie system. Cactus is a multi-state similar situation, and Armadillo connects to Cactus somewhere in going across into New Mexico, and then they have systems in New Mexico, Arizona, uh, California, Nevada, and so forth. That's pretty interesting stuff. Anyhow, what's on for the future? In fact, I got to get cracking on this. I got less than 2 weeks to build up a new 900 megahertz repeater system for Cedar Hill. There's an intermittent problem in this one that I have out there now. Every now and then, the receiver in it just doesn't work, and I've changed receivers, I've changed cables. Um, so the only thing that's really in the receive path um, that hasn't been changed yet is the back plane in the chassis that holds it all together, that all the cards plug into. And but that is part of the metal chassis. So I'm just going to build up a whole new repeater, take it out there. I think we're going to do this on August 13th, and see if that solves the problems. I really need to get cracking on that and get it done already. Anyhow, that's about the way things are. So I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to waddle into the radio room. And for right now, I'm going to say this is Crowley, 6'2" and even. Do any of you know where that comes from? Put that in the comments. Where does 6'2" and even come from? This is Crowley over and out.